Hello everyone, welcome to Beyond Disability Voices of Inclusion. I am Trust Darwin Vukutru and I will be your host on this podcast. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for being patient and joining us on this very day, even after we postponed our date of launching this podcast. I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge those people who have enabled us to begin this platform. I want to thank Taraba Paul, the Kakuba Boy. I want to thank MC Match. I want to thank Kent Media. I will thank Benja America. I also thank our funders who have enabled us to start with the few equipment and I want to thank those people who have shown interest and pushed us and given in their equipment if at no cost and helped us to begin this platform. I want to thank firstly the proposal gurus. I want to thank Mr. Batuma Francis. I want to thank Kabarole Circle of the Disabled. I want to thank all the other groups that have funded us, to mention but a few. Today, I want also to thank you that you have been able to join us in our very first episode to launch Beyond Disability Voices of Inclusion. In this episode, I'm going to be answering questions as pertaining as to why we began this podcast and what importance it is to our community and to the people around us. I shall be co-hosted by Inid Kayesu, who shall not be in camera today. However, she shall be asking me questions which I shall be answering, and I hope that you will be part of us and continue being a part of us in this journey.
Welcome, Trust. May you please tell us more about yourself?
Well, I am Trust Darwin Vukutru, your host Beyond Disability Voices of Inclusion. I'm also a medical clinic officer and a disability inclusion advocate. I am also enthusiastic and passionate about writing. I'm an aspiring author with a book, Did We Grieve, waiting in line. Thank you.
Okay. I heard you speak about Beyond Disability Voices of Inclusion. What inspired you to start it up?
Thank you. Thank you for that question. I may not answer this question directly, but I will give you some statistics which are going to indicate to us a problem that us as Beyond Disability Voices of Inclusion are planning to address. So there are about 16% of persons living with disabilities globally, and this data is from the United Nations Disability Inclusion Strategy. Data from the Uganda National Bureau of Statistics, current data, that is the 2024 disability monograph, indicates that there are 13.2% persons living with disabilities in Uganda. And of these 13.2%, only 40.9% have access to a mobile phone. Of these 40.9%, only about 5% have access to internet. We are in a global village currently, and we know that internet has helped in promoting awareness about the condition, about different conditions. Hence, this data clearly indicates that there are very few people or persons living with disability who have been able to share their stories using these different social media platforms that we have at play. And sharing these stories which would have helped inspire others, or which would have helped challenge certain stereotypes about persons with disabilities. Hence, in starting Beyond Disability Voices of Inclusion, we clearly wanted to promote awareness about disability. Not only awareness, but also to challenge the stereotypes surrounding people with disability, because most of the times when a person with a disability is looked at, the first thing they look at is their limitation and not their ability. Hence, in starting Beyond Disability Voices of Inclusion, we wanted to attract different people or persons caring for people with disabilities such that they could share their stories and they show to the common Ugandan or to the people outside there that they have abilities. Though they have limitations, yes, there are things that they can do effectively. Thank you.
Okay, why did you choose this particular name?
Most people with disability are identified as persons with disability, full stop. As simple as that. They don't look at what is beyond that disability. People with disability also, they have dreams, they have careers that they want to pursue, they have things that they want to achieve as persons. They also want to have families, they also want to have a job, they want to have a career, they want to start up businesses, they want to do so many things. So Beyond Disability indicates that there is something beyond the disability. Then Voices of Inclusion talks about different voices coming in and sharing their stories and talking about those things that they have faced, challenges that they have overcome, limitations that they have found ways to go through, and different many other ways that they could share their story. So that's why we chose the name Beyond Disability Voices of Inclusion, because it looks at beyond the identity of disability, and then also different people share their stories differently.
Well, what gap do you think this podcast fill?
As I had earlier talked about what inspired us to start up Beyond Disability Voices of Inclusion, the gap this podcast fills is that it removes those stereotypes. It may not necessarily remove them completely, but it will challenge the way the common person has been looking at a person with disability. They will not only look at their limitation, but rather they will look at what this person can ably do. They will not only look about at they will not only look at their identity as a person with a disability. However, they will look at a person with a dream. They will look at a person who also wants to pursue a career. They will also look at a person who deserves to have an education. They will also look at a person who deserves to be respected in the community. They will also not only look at a person who they think always needs charity, but at a person who contributes to the community's economy, who contributes to the social aspects of the community, and also has value in that community. Thank you.
Okay, why this matters? Why do disability stories matter?
Well, disability stories shared by persons with disabilities matter a lot because this person with a disability, when they share their story, first and foremost, they heal. Persons with disability have faced a lot of stigma, they have been bullied, and it has not been easy to live in a community where they have been stereotyped as persons who have no value. So why their stories matter, or why these stories matter? There are people with disabilities who have not been able to come up or who have not been able to attain an education. There are people with a disability who have not been able to pursue their careers. There are people with disability who have not been able to grab certain opportunities because of the stereotypes that they have been labeled with. So these stories matter a lot because they will inspire these people to also wake up and do. These stories matter a lot because they will open the eyes of the common person about the person living with a disability, not only looking at their identity of disability, but rather looking at a person who has also dreams, who has also careers they want to pursue, as I earlier said. So that is why these stories matter. These stories matter because they inspire. These stories matter because they will encourage others to do. Thank you.
Okay. What are some misconceptions about disability that you hope to change?
As I had earlier stated, mostly in the questions, some of the misconceptions are that people with disability do not deserve an education because they are not going to add value to the community. This this is not true because people with disabilities can also add value to the community and also grow the economy of the country when they attain good education. In fact, when persons with disabilities are empowered, we shall have more people contributing to the growth of this country because they have also they are people who are knowledgeable. They are people who can contribute to the economy of the country through starting businesses, through starting up companies, and through doing so many other ventures. Other misconception that I would love to be challenged from this podcast is that persons with disability cannot attain a career or cannot pursue a career. People with disabilities are very resilient people. As I have lived with a disability, I know what I'm talking about. So when you are faced with a lot of challenges, you find ways of always being resilient. So in that resilience, you can ably also pursue those careers which seem as hard and which maybe persons who are taking care of people with disability think these people cannot ably do. There are so many misconceptions. We shall be sharing them over and over as in different episodes of this podcast. But however, the biggest misconceptions are that persons with disability don't have any value and don't deserve to attain an education, or persons with disability cannot pursue careers. This can be more supported by still data from the Ugandan National Bureau of Statistics, where it is seen that more than half of persons living with disability are not employed and are not in any formal training. And it is also seen that 51.9% of the school-going children are the ones who can ably attain education if they have a disability. So those are some of the misconceptions that we will try to challenge on this podcast. Thank you.
Okay. What kinds of guests and conversations can viewers expect?
We are going to be hosting persons with disabilities. We shall also be hosting disability advocates. We shall be having guests who are from non-governmental organizations, people who are taking care of persons living with disabilities. We shall also be having caregivers to these persons with disabilities, family members of the persons with disabilities. And the conversations we hope to have are conversations that will challenge stereotypes, conversations that shall promote awareness, conversations that shall inspire other persons living with disabilities that they can ably achieve. We shall have conversations of hope, conversations of resilience, conversations about career, conversations about how to overcome learned helplessness, and we shall have very many conversations which will indeed inspire our viewers.
Oh, that's nice. What do you what do you hope people will learn from this series?
I hope people will learn that every person requires an equal opportunity from this. I hope that people learn that our limitations do not determine our abilities to do something. I want also people to learn that resilience and not giving up can lead you to far greater places. Thank you.
Oh, those are good lessons. If this podcast could change one person's life, what changes would you hope to see?
I hope to see changes in people, changes like them not looking at the common stereotypes that they have been looking at in looking at persons with disabilities, as we had earlier said, those labels that have been labeled on persons with disabilities. I also hope to see a country where opportunities are equal for each and every one, and I hope to see a place where there is inclusion for everyone.
Why should people subscribe and stay with this journey?
Well, people should subscribe to our journey because I want them to be a part of us, and they look at the possibilities that people or persons who are living with different disabilities can achieve. I want people to continue joining our journey or to be a part of our journey and subscribe to this channel such that they are part of the champions of inclusion for persons with disabilities. I also want people to subscribe to our channel such that we can grow our community and promote more awareness about disability. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Trust. Those were my questions. Could you please give us your closing remarks?
Firstly, let me once again thank those people and the funders who have made the beginning of Beyond Disability Voices of Inclusion happen. I want also to call other people to action, our followers. Tell a friend to tell a friend, may you please follow us, and may you also be a part of our journey. If you want to share a story, you can reach us on 0782608979. You can also reach us on 0731079914, and you can also reach us on 0782107254. Also, I want us to know that persons with disabilities have possibilities and their limitations do not stop their abilities. Remember, every voice matters and every story inspires. Thank you.